Welcome back to another episode of TheWorryWartGamer. They say you never get a second chance at a first impression, and it seems like with Xbox and first party, there is no first, there is no second, there is no 10th impression. It just is what it is, and no one is supposed to be disappointed or even raise an eyebrow or question anything. Well, Halo Infinite is now completely and totally a mess, and it is indicative of a problem inherent to Microsoft's first party. And we're going to talk about this. This article talks about it, and then we'll discuss. Developer 343 Industries recently announced that Halo Infinite campaign couch co-op has been canceled, and abandoning this promised feature is a betrayal of fans' trust. The latest entry in the beloved sci-fi shooter series, released as a free-to-play multiplayer open beta in November 2021, with the paid single-player campaign then launching in December. Halo Infinite arrived without some of the franchise's staple features like campaign co-op and the Forge map editor, though 343 Industries promised that these features would be added in time. Halo Infinite campaign couch co-op has now been canceled. However, and fans are unlikely to take this development lightly, campaign co-op, which lets players work together to fight through a single-player storyline, has been a staple of the Halo franchise since its very first installment. Bungie's 2001 shooter Halo Combat Evolved let two players enjoy the campaign together through split-screen multiplayer, and by Halo 3, this feature was expanded to accommodate a group of up to 4 players through couch co-op or online multiplayer. While Halo Infinite launched without the ability to play the campaign cooperatively, 343 Industries has promised to deliver the feature in the future. The game's online campaign co-op recently went through a beta test, just like the upcoming Halo Infinite Forge mode, but couch co-op is being left out to dry. The promised Halo Infinite couch co-op mode has been canceled by 343 Industries as revealed in the developer's September update. Arriving on November 8th, the sci-fi shooter's winter update will introduce a number of highly anticipated features for players to enjoy. The update will finally add Forge mode, which allows players to build their own maps and plan unique matches using an in-depth editor. Online campaign co-op will also come to Halo Infinite on November 8th, but the promised split-screen couch co-op feature has been canceled. 343 Industries has apparently, quote, relocated studio resources, end quote, away from couch co-op development to, quote, improve and accelerate ongoing live service development and to better address player feedback and quality of life updates, end quote. By canceling Halo Infinite's couch co-op, 343 Industries has betrayed the trust of loyal fans. The split-screen feature has been promised since before the game's launch, and players have been waiting months to experience the game's open-ended campaign through couch co-op. The sudden cancellation of this feature demonstrates the risks of live service game development and the risks that players take by supporting live service games, since planned content can be abandoned with impunity. Those who have been playing and supporting Halo Infinite since launch and looking forward to split-screen multiplayer have now been left with nothing to show for their patience, which will surely erode trust between the developer and consumer. While the game had a strong launch, recent data calls Halo Infinite one of the worst Steam games in terms of consistent player count. The game even struggles to maintain higher player counts than Battlefield 2042, one of the most reviled games of 2021, which bodes poorly for the title's future. By walking back promises and canceling split-screen campaign co-op, 343 Industries risks destroying the player loyalty that Halo Infinite desperately needs. All right, so that's enough of reading that article. Promised features, campaign co-op, couch co-op. That's the focus of this article. However, there are a multitude of promised features that just disappeared. Do you remember post-launch, one of our top priorities is working with AMD to introduce ray tracing to Halo Infinite? Well, that's gone. No one's talking about it. No big Xbox influencers are bringing it up. How about just features that we saw in the original trailer for Halo Infinite, the demo? the sort of smoke and mirrors effect of all of this amazing looking tech, amazing lighting, environments, biomes, and then we get an open world that's completely barren. How about a story that is just so ridiculously barren of any substance? And you think about Joseph Staten. They brought in Joseph Staten, who was one of the writers, the senior writers for Destiny. They bring him into Halo Infinite to help save the game. This is the same person that they brought to Crackdown 3 to save Crackdown 3 when it was having development nightmares. How did that turn out? Now, that's not to say that it's all Joseph Staten's problem, but here's the thing. He's being brought in twice now on projects that have had complete and total nightmares in development. This is a recurring theme over and over again with Microsoft and first-party Xbox. They cannot get a game from production to completion in a way that is holistic, complete, and absolutely polished. They simply cannot get it done. There is no argument against it now. And not just getting a game done, but once they bring in people to help, it seems like everything slows down to a crawl. They recently had another discussion, another interview where they say what they're working on. And they're literally working on one new weapon and one new piece of equipment. That's it. That's what they're working on to bring to the game. Not to mention the fact that there is no word on anything single player, anything story driven, anything to do for people who are into Halo for the story in that barren open world. Again, this is a recurring theme with Xbox. They cannot get a game from beginning to end in a complete and holistic way. The earth is not flat. There are people out there who still believe that despite the evidence to the contrary, and I feel like we're still ignoring these issues when it comes to Xbox first party. It's right there in front of you. It's not an Xbox versus PlayStation, PlayStation versus Xbox thing. It is a real issue that continues to happen, and I'm getting really tired of it. The reason that this bothers me so much is this recurring theme of bringing people in to help is indicative of a larger problem when you see the finished products and they're completely and totally gutted of everything that you expected to have when you purchased that product. Who are they bringing in to help with Perfect Dark, Crystal Dynamic? Why should I believe that that is going to be feature complete when it releases? Who are they bringing in to help with Fable? Who are they bringing in to help with everything else first party that they've promised, that they've talked about, that they've said is going to be incredible? Because the recurring theme is the earth is not flat. There is evidence to the contrary. And like that, there is tons of evidence that Microsoft has a first-party quality development management issue that continues. I'm tired of it. Somebody needs to get in there and create something phenomenal. If it's happening to Halo, why wouldn't it happen to everything else? That's what I'm worried about. The article talks about the risk of supporting live service, and when it comes to a franchise that has always had a beginning, middle, and end upon release, has always been known to have things included in the finished product. When you transition all of that to live service, anything can be dropped at any time. That is the risk of live service. I am not willing to take that risk with certain franchises. You shouldn't be willing to take that risk with certain franchises, and certainly nobody should be supporting that or covering it up because of Xbox channel, PlayStation versus Xbox nonsense. This is a recurring theme. I am tired of it. I have zero excitement for any first party Xbox related game coming out of Xbox Studios. It is a wait and see approach for everything. I advise anybody owning an Xbox to do that as well. Or show me the evidence that everything is going to be great when it comes to all of their first party games based on how Halo has been handled. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.